assists. For more women's sports stories, subscribe to Good Game with Sarah Spain on iHeart Podcasts. The founding partner of iHeart Women's Sports, Capital One helps you stay connected to top female athletes and earn unlimited 3% cash back on dining, entertainment, and at grocery stores with the Capital One Saver Card. What's in your wallet? Terms apply. Visit CapitalOne.com for details.
This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell. Cordell & Cordell is the largest family law firm in the country with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. If you or someone you care about is facing a family law issue, let us set up a 1-hour Cordell Consult. The Cordell Consult is a meeting with a local attorney who will give you clear guidance about your options, whether it's a separation, a postnuptial agreement, divorce, or custody. Visit CordellCordell.com.
Austin, San Antonio, and St. Louis.
Get ready to Rita. The tequila sale at Specs is going on now.
Lunch was great, but this traffic is awful.
Can we stop at a bathroom?
Are you all right?
I keep having stomach issues after eating, like diarrhea, gas and bloating, abdominal pain, and sometimes oily stools.
Sound familiar? Those stomach issues may actually be a pancreas issue called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. Creon pancrelipase may help manage EPI. Creon is a prescription medicine used to treat people who can't digest food normally because their pancreas doesn't make enough enzymes.
Creon may increase your chance of fibrosing colonopathy, a rare bowel disorder. Tell your doctor if you have a history of intestinal blockage or scarring or thickening of your bowel wall, if you are allergic to pork, or if you have gout, kidney problems, or worsening of painful swollen joints. Call your doctor if you have any unusual or severe gastrointestinal symptoms or allergic reactions. Take Creon as directed by your doctor and always with food. Do not chew capsules as this may cause mouth irritation. Other side effects may include blood sugar changes, gas, dizziness, sore throat, and cough. These are not all the side effects of Creon. Call 800-633-9110 or visit creoninfo.com to learn more. That's CREONinfo.com.
I'm asking my doctor about EPI and if Creon could help.
Weezer wants to take you to court. The pickleball court. iHeartRadio has your chance to win a trip to New York. With premium seats to see Weezer live in concert. Plus, you're going to get to play pickleball with Weezer. All thanks to Weezer, Crush Music, and Live Nation. For your chance to win, tap the contest tab and enter while listening to us on iHeartRadio. Pack your paddle and prepare to be picked with Weezer and iHeartRadio.
From the Audio-Visual Consultation Studios, Sports Radio 1300 The Zone, KBET AM Austin, your home for the Horns, and the #1 preset in your car and on the free iHeartRadio app. He's a Texas legend, a Hall of Fame broadcaster, the voice of the Texas Longhorns, and your host of the Craig Way Show. Here he is now, Craig Way.
Enjoy Yacht Rock Wednesday. We roll. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the program here on Sports Radio AM 1300 The Zone, and where you can always listen to us for free on the iHeartRadio app. My name is Craig Way. Thank you very much for joining us. Glad to have you with us. Alongside the producer, Jake Herman. We're with you up until 5 o'clock this afternoon. A lot to touch on. Obviously, review of last night's Spurs win in the NBA playoffs. We'll talk about the NBA playoffs overall. We'll hear from some of the principals involved in that. In the 4 o'clock hour, there'll be a little more in-depth college baseball preview of the final weekend of the regular season. Keith Moreland, my broadcast partner on Longhorn Baseball Games, will join us, and that'll be in the 4 o'clock hour. We'll have a segment with him talking about the Longhorns, the SEC, the Big 12, the Sun Belt with Texas State, the national scene, all that stuff coming up. We'll have that. In the 3 o'clock hour, a little more breakdown of the projections and how it also aligns with RPI and some of the other stuff, some things about that as well. And coming up here in a few minutes, further proof that he is alive and well and still gainfully employed by this company. our own Cameron Parker, who is our resident PGA Tour honk. He's the one who keeps up with all the minutia of the pro golf scene, even the part that he doesn't like live golf, but he keeps up with all of it. And he'll join us with a preview of the PGA Championship that'll be going on. So the PGA, it's at Aronimink, isn't it? Outside of Philadelphia?
Yep.
Yeah.
It moved there, actually. I learned this morning. They moved it there. It was supposed to be in 2027, but they moved it there to coincide with the 250th birthday of America.
Yeah, exactly. And, of course, the Baseball All-Star Game will be in Philadelphia. So, yeah, all signs point to Philly in the 250th. And you were not alive. I was 15 going on 16 when the bicentennial came around. And I do remember, and I remember us all going out to watch this where I was growing up in Greensboro in North Carolina, this grand fireworks display. And I remember Walter Cronkite talking about it, urging people to join CBS News coverage of that in celebration of us. I remember him talking about that. And they did a thing like this was really cool that CBS did, and maybe OGs, of my ilk or thereabouts, or even older, might remember this. But I remember this as a 13-year-old, a 14-year-old, a 15-year-old. They started doing these bicentennial minutes, and they were doing them during prime time, like 7:58 or 7:59 p.m. Eastern time, or 8:58 or 8:59 p.m. Eastern. That would be between two network shows, and it'd be a bicentennial minute. And it wasn't Cronkite. He would do some, but they had a lot of stars who would do it. And it was basically, they were talking about, the Boston Tea Party or something, or talking about Bunker Hill or whatever. And they did this for like 2 years. They had these going on all the way up until the bicentennial came about. So that was a long time ago. No doubt about it.
Nowadays, they try to do that. People would have too many problems with it.
Yeah, probably so.
No, you left this out. You misrepresented that.
Yeah, right. What'd you do? Get that from AI? It'd be that kind of thing. So anyway, the PGA Championship begins tomorrow, and Cameron Parker will join us in the second segment here of this hour to preview and who to watch and who he thinks will be the teams to beat out of that. Okay, NBA, and last night it was the Spurs taking command of the series yet again, winning back in San Antonio in Game 6 and winning 126-97. The game was closer than that at times. The Spurs had like a 15, 16-point lead in the first half. Then the T-Wolves clawed back, I think, to 11 by halftime. And then from there, they made a push in the third quarter, actually drew even, I believe, at 81. They got the game even. And then the Spurs just blitzed them in the fourth quarter and had a massive fourth quarter. Yes, Victor Wembanyama had a lot to do with it, but so did Keldon Johnson. So did several of the other members of the Spurs. It was a big, big part of San Antonio pulling away to win it. And after the game, when it was all said and done, Mitch Johnson was asked to describe this version. It was interesting hearing a lot of people talk about it was going to be Wemby's revenge for the flagrant 2 foul and the ejection on Sunday.
Angry Vic.
Angry.
Revenge Vic.
Yeah, all that kind of stuff. Whatever version it was, Mitch Johnson was asked to describe it.
Yeah, I don't know what the word was. I think the one thing the one word I'd like to use just mature. I think there was a lot that's happened in the last 48 hours in the last game. And I think how that young man came out tonight and played in a variety of ways, in a variety of situations, not just in terms of his production, was extremely mature.
Yeah, it was a big part of it. His production.
That doesn't have the same ring to it. Mature Vic.
Yeah. Somebody, Devin Vassell said they needed to see an upset Vic.
There it is. Yeah. Upset Vic.
Upset Vic.
Not Angry Vic. I was thinking of Charles Bediaco, who Alabama fans call Angry Chuck.
Right. That kind of thing. So, but they got several, they got several big contributions. Now, Wemby became the first player in NBA postseason history to have 27 points, 17 rebounds, 5 assists, 3 blocks, and 2 3-pointers since the three-point line was introduced in the 79-80 season. So he scored 18 points in the first quarter, tied for the most in a quarter in his postseason career, and tied for the 5th most points in a playoff quarter by a Spurs player in the play-by-play era since 1998. I've had some people ask me, they go, what do you mean the play-by-play era? People have been doing play-by-play for a long, long time. I said, they mean that in terms of how the game is cataloged in the stats when they keep play-by-play, when they have a guy who writes down every single play, what happens, Keldon Johnson from 18, Wembanyama slam dunk at the 7:42 mark of the third quarter to make it 69-53. They have the time, the score, and who did it.
I think the sport we wish we had this the most for earlier is baseball. I wish we had all the modern stats for Ted Williams and Babe Ruth and all these greats.
Absolutely. We do have, if you go back, like say under Baseball Reference and look at stuff, there are some scoring plays that happen, but not the actual full-on play-by-play, player bean, charges mound, whatever, that sort of thing. But they got plenty of other contributions as well. I mentioned Keldon Johnson. He had a big part of it. In addition to what he did, Stephon Castle had a big game. And in fact, Castle was asked after the game how impactful Keldon Johnson was in the game.
I think it was big for him. Having a game like that on, not that much time and very efficient. We need him. He's been that for us all year, and he's also one of the reasons why, we're number 2 in the West. So, we need that version of KJ every night, and it's just good. It's good to see him have a game like this, especially. I wouldn't say this late in the playoffs, but to be able to have it now, where we need him most, is good to see.
Yeah. So and Keldon Johnson is one of those guys who remembers the lean times there in San Antonio when they were really, really struggling. So it's now 3-2 favor of the Spurs, and they can close it out on the road, and they can do that on Friday night in Minneapolis. If it doesn't happen and Minnesota forces the 7th game, that would be on Sunday at, was it Frostbank Center?
That's right.
Yeah. Okay.
They need a name for that. The Icebox?
Well, it was, you remember before it was AT&T Center, wasn't it? It was, and then it became Frostbank.
Well, Verizon Center, DC used to be the phone booth. I suppose AT&T could have had the same thing.
Yeah. Listen, I'm old enough to have done play-by-play when it was called the MCI Center.
Yep. I might have gone once or twice when it was called that.
You didn't go when I was there because you would have only been, what year were you born?
I was born in 2000.
You only would have been 1 year old when Texas played there in the 01-02 season. They played in a tournament there, lost the first game to Notre Dame, and then defeated George Washington in the consolation game, the 3rd place game. Maryland, I think, won it that year. And that was the year Maryland won the national championship in 02 that season.
Yeah, too young to remember that.
Yeah, well, that's the one time I've called a game in that, a couple of games in that building. That was my first season in the play-by-play chair, 01-02 for basketball.
That's the start of the play-by-play era.
Yeah, sure it is. Tonight, Game 5, Pistons, Cavaliers. Any reason to think that the Cavaliers will win a road game?
No.
Okay.
No, there isn't, because if the Pistons can get any kind of a bounce-back effort from Jalen Duren, who was out for a stroll in those 2 games in Cleveland, then I like their chances in the series.
Yeah, right.
Is there a chance? Of course. James Harden and Donovan Mitchell could always get hot.
Here's a real hot sports opinion. Detroit will win Game 5 at home. Cleveland will win Game 6 at home. And Detroit will win Game 7 at home.
And now you're turning this studio into the ice box. That's a cold take.
Yeah, very cold. But facts is facts. It's probably going to be that way. All right. Coming up, we'll get the facts from Cam Parker. Talking some PGA Championship golf. We'll do that. We do have Inconceivable this hour. didn't get a chance to bring it to you yesterday because we had a cut-down version of the show due to the length of the daytime Round Rock Express game. But we do have Inconceivable today. We'll bring that to you and a lot more here on Sports Radio AM 1300 The Zone and the iHeartRadio app.
Baseball season is here, and the Round Rock Express are ready to take the field. Hear all the action right here on 1300 The Zone. Whether you're at home or on the road, stay connected with Round Rock Express Baseball live on 1300 The Zone.
Hey, Kins. Yes, Bella? Do you know why I like Fridays? Tell me. Because it's Blackout Fridays at Round Rock's #1 sports bar, Rowdy Cowboy. I get to wear my sexiest black lingerie. And Rowdy has its famous $19.99 ribeye special. And I get to wear my sexiest black lingerie. And we have ice cold beer, craft cocktails, and a Texas-sized menu. And I get to wear my sexiest black lingerie. And you can watch all your favorite sports on our 69 big screen TVs. And I know, Bella. We all get to wear our sexiest black lingerie. So saddle up and head to Rowdy Cowboy off I-35 in Round Rock. Let's get rowdy.
With iHeart, everything you hear is guaranteed human. That's why 78% of listeners trust their favorite radio host's product recommendations. If you manage a business or need to drive sales, that trust goes a long way. Call 844-844-iHeart. Again, that's 844-844-iHeart.
For all the things you have to do and places you need to be, let Uber take you there. Because there are nights out, airport trips, and car troubles in your area, there are drivers in your area. Uber. Request a ride today. Wait time varies. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance tech at a university, he knows ordering from multiple suppliers takes time away from keeping their arena up and running. That's why he counts on Grainger to get everything he needs, from lighting and HVAC parts to plumbing supplies, all in one place. And with fast, dependable delivery, he's stocked and ready for the next tip-off. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Chuck McDowell here with Red Pocket Mobile. How long have you been stuck with the same phone plan? 2 years? 5? 10? Are you tired of surprise fees and confusing bills? Switch to Red Pocket Mobile. With Red Pocket Mobile, premium 5G plans start at just $10 a month. Pick a plan, lock in your rate, and that's the number you'll see on your bill every month. No hidden fees and no long-term contracts. And here's the kicker. Red Pocket lets you choose from 3 major 5G networks, not just one. Pick the network that actually works where you live and where you work. Try one, and if you like it, keep it. If not, switch to another. Never be stuck with a single network again. Plus, keep your phone, keep your number. Red Pocket Mobile, your new ultimate cell carrier.
New customers can switch and save 50%. Choose from all 3 major 5G networks with one locked-in low price and no contracts at redpocket.com. Redpocket.com.
Keep your career moving forward with growth opportunities, great pay and benefits, and one of the country's top workplaces. Go to careers.progressive.com and apply today. That's careers.progressive.com.
Sound familiar? At Mattress Firm, we understand there are many problems that can keep you up at night, like snoring, aches and pains, or sleeping hot. Our sleep experts have the unrivaled know-how to match you with a mattress that can help. And now at Mattress Firm, save up to $700, plus get a free adjustable base with select Sealy Posturepedic mattresses. For the great sleep you deserve, visit Mattress Firm. We make sleep easy. Restrictions apply. See store or website for details.
Hey, Joy. Oh, you are glowing.
Oh, hey, more like Mira joyed that Miralax helped me go. I was so backed up. Tried mega coffees, prune juice, everything. Then Miralax. And hello, gentle relief without the harsh side effects.
Ooh, how does it work?
It works naturally with the water in your body for constipation relief. Find Miralax today at your local retailer.
Use as directed for occasional constipation.
Now here's your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website. Grand. That's grand. Enter it now.
What's up, y'all? I'm Cheryl Swoops, WNBA champ, 3-time Olympian, and Basketball Hall of Famer.
And I am Tarika Foster Brasby, journalist, sports reporter, basketball analyst.
And we are here to talk about the obstacles that women face day to day.
Athlete or not, we know it takes a lot as women to be at the top of our game.
We want to share those stories.
So listen, we'll talk to athletes, coaches, media personalities, entertainers, working moms.
Because no matter who you are, there are levels to what we experience as women. And T and I have no problem going there.
So if you want to hear real women having real conversations, then tune into our new podcast, Levels to This, with Cheryl Swoops and Tarika Foster Brasby, an iHeart Women's Sports production in partnership with Deep Blue Sports and Entertainment.
Coach Sark here. 1300 The Zone is your flagship home for the Texas Longhorns.
It's the Craig Way Show with the voice of the Texas Longhorns and Hall of Fame broadcaster, Craig Way.
Now I told you so, you ought to know. It takes some time for a feeling to grow.
Okay, on the Yacht Rock Wednesday, this is a one-hit wonder in Walter Egan, who did, it was a very popular song, Magnet and Steel. But here's today's question. Listen to the backing vocalists. Any idea who one of those female backing vocalists is?
What year was this?
1972.
Not Stevie Nicks, is it?
Bingo!
Oh, did I really get that?
Look at you nailing it.
Lucky guess.
See, we have sucked you into the mire now. We've drawn you in.
Well, you know,
to the yacht rock genre.
We've had some Fleetwood Mac on Yacht Rock Wednesdays. I just needed the year to make an educated guess.
Yeah. She was very young at that time, but she's one of the backing vocalists on this. See, now we got Jake into the whole yacht rock genre in large measure because Cameron Parker, when he was producing the show, got into the yacht rock genre. Am I correct in saying that?
I wasn't very familiar with. I mean, obviously, I knew who the Doobie Brothers were.
Yeah.
Probably vague recognition of Christopher Cross, but I did not understand the full scope of yacht rock until working on your show. So you helped me appreciate it, and then of course there was the HBO documentary that I enjoyed, and so time for time I will put on the Apple Music yacht rock playlist.
Do you really?
Yeah.
And iHeart has a yacht rock channel
rock
as well.
station,
Yeah,
free
yacht
on the
rock.
app. Yeah.
So that's good. Okay, well that's good. I think it's good. Now, Jake yesterday played me a portion of Bill Simmons' podcast, right?
Yep.
Then he had David Letterman on.
Yeah.
And David Letterman was talking about yacht rock, how he came to appreciate it, but he hates the dude. If anybody has heard him on Sirius XM, they're obviously just lampooning themselves, but Letterman didn't take it as such. He was really put off by the guy that was going, this is wonderful yacht rock, right? Like it's a wealthy guy on a rock, on a yacht, mixing up drinks and all this kind of stuff. And Letterman called him all sorts of 4-letter word stuff that you never heard him say on his television show because he couldn't do that, but he could do it on a podcast. Okay, so Cameron Parker, while moving up into the management circles here in the iHeart kingdom, also still has kept his ear to the ground and his eyes on top of the pro golf scene. I walked in yesterday when you were helping Keith Moreland out with something, and you had something on. I saw fairways and greens. So I don't know. Was it like practice round for the PGA or something?
Yeah. So ESPN Plus does a great job of covering the major championships, and so they do live shows live on site for all of the major championships, I believe, except for the Open, because that's contractually
the RNA
goes to NBC and Peacock, the cock, of course, as we like to call it here in Austin.
Nice. Okay.
But yeah, they do. Usually it's Scott Van Pelt or Michael Eaves or your favorite Matt Berry. And Andy North comes on. Curtis Strange, who's great.
Mm-hmm.
Jeff Ogilvy, I believe, is on this week. So they're live at Aronimink, the Mink, just outside. Where are they at? Is it Pittsburgh?
Right outside Philly.
I've got a friend who goes by the Mink.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, went to her wedding in February.
Okay. Newton Square, Pennsylvania is where Aronimink is. And that's one of those classic American golf courses.
Donald Ross.
When people mention golf courses to me that are of the U.S. Open and PGA championship ilk, if not rotation of sorts.
Yeah.
Aronimink is one of those. You know, I think of Pine Valley, not far from there in Jersey, and I think of obviously Winged Foot and Shinnecock Hills, where the Open's going to be. You know, there's a lot of those at Pebble Beach, obviously Riviera. We could go on and on with a lot of those classic ones. Now, in recent years, like what's the one up in Washington State, up by Seattle, where they had an Open?
Chambers Bay.
Chambers Bay.
No, that's Whistling Straits.
See, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
Those two.
And that's where the Ryder Cup was.
Yes.
Yeah, and Abandoned Dunes comes to mind. Yeah. Those are ones that have kind of been new to into the club, if you will. But those other ones I talked about, and you obviously include Pinehurst number 2 in there, and a lot of it has to do with the guys who are really the pioneers of golf course architecture, right? Like a Donald Ross.
Yeah, and of course you mentioned Pinehurst number 2. That comes to mind. I mean, over 400 courses Donald Ross designed, and Aronimink is one that he calls one of his best ever designs. And I don't know if we're going to see the full nature of this golf course on display this week, because of these golf courses, considering it was designed, in the mid 1900s, wasn't designed for how far these guys hit the golf ball now. A lot of bunkering on this golf course, and usually Donald Ross's designs kind of stay away from bunkers, but on this course he leaned heavily into it, and it's an awesome golf course. Unfortunately, guys like Rory McIlroy and Cam Young out here bombing at 320, 350 and just taking it right over the bunkers. But what this golf course does have is crazy undulated greens, almost similar to Augusta National, and how these greens are tier structured. Even the fairways, they're not flat lies. I think of like Oakmont last year, where the U.S. Open was at.
Another one of those classic courses.
Pretty straightforward fairways, pretty straightforward greens, but very long, heavy rough, penal bunkers. This course definitely will favor the longer hitters, but if you're not sharp with your wedge control, with your distance, then your golf ball can roll back to the center of the fairway, which I think we're going to see on a couple holes this week, which will be fun to see. This last major championship, this course hosted was 1962. Gary Player actually won it, and then since then, the 2018 BMW, they renovated the course. Gilhands came in, fantastic golf architect, did a really good job with this course, and so they beefed it up, made it a little bit longer. And I think it'll provide a pretty good test for these golfers. However, I do expect the winning score to probably be around 18 to 20 under.
Wow. Okay. It's funny you bring up the undulation of the greens, because that has been around for a while. But I think a lot of people think in the last 20 years, when we think about, like, say, Pete Dye courses that had all those, who was it? Was it Greg Norman? Somebody talked about burying elephants underneath the green, the ways that they rolled.
Yeah.
It was somebody talking about burying elephants underneath the greens to make it, to do that sort of thing. But Aronimink is both a throwback and a futuresque with what you're talking about.
Yeah, and I'm excited to see the test here. I think about the 11th hole, which is one, to really watch for, like a 425-yard par 4. A tiered elevated green, but it can really realistically only hold probably about 2 pin locations. And if you aren't spot on with your wedge display, your ball's rolling back and you have a 50-yard pitch shot uphill to a green. All of a sudden you go from possibly making birdie to making bogey. And that's what I appreciate, because some of these golf courses, especially on the PGA Tour, are very much just bomb it down there. You chip up and you make birdie. And a lot of that has to do with just how technology has advanced in this game. But, the last couple PGAs have been kind of stinkers, Craig, in terms of the courses they played on. Quail Hollow, like, I'm sorry, I'm from Charlotte. I'm a 704 native, but that golf course stinks. Charlotte fans, I credit, they always support, PGA Tour golf, whether it's the President's Cup, it's the Wells Fargo, it's the Truist.
Going back to when I was a kid, the Kemper Open. But that golf course sucks for major championship golf. Valhalla 2 years before, where Sander won. Sorry, Scotty.
His first major, terrible golf course. But you bring in here Aronimink, and I still don't know if it'll be a true test. I mean, Rory McIlroy talked about it yesterday that the course design is taken away by how far these guys can hit it. I still think that it'll be more of a challenge than the last two tournaments, and I think it'll set up for a pretty exciting tournament, because the last PGA I think we've had that was actually really entertaining to watch may have been Southern Hills in 2021, 22, in which Justin Thomas won with that crazy back nine comeback. Mito Pereira, one of the worst golf shots on a Sunday.
Yeah.
Now he's retired from golf and motorbiking. So I am excited for that we have a course that we haven't really seen that much on the PGA Tour in years past.
And who won it there last time? Keegan Bradley?
Keegan Bradley beat Justin Rose in a playoff.
Yeah. The rainy, right? Weird.
Rainy, terrible northeast. Yeah.
Okay.
Usual slog weather.
Speaking of Justin Rose, I want to get your thoughts on this. I like him. He's one of my favorites. He really is. But
Team Rose.
on the PGA Tour's website, they have 5 trends to track.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you've read this deal, but one of those is entitled Justin Rose and Aronimink. And they said Aronimink, to your point, has hosted 3 major men's tournaments in the last 17 years. And only 2 players in this week's field have played in all 3, Justin Rose and Ricky Fowler.
Mm-hmm.
They're the only ones. And talk about, Rose has been so close to winning some other things and is an annual contender at Augusta, of course. And he's won twice at Torrey Pines. And so they're saying this may be a small sample size, but maybe he might be one of the guys to watch.
Well, he's a very interesting guy, because if you told me a month ago going into this tournament, or you asked me who are my favorites to win this week, I would have put Justin Rose just based on the way he played at Augusta.
Mm-hmm.
But then he goes and changes his irons about 3-4 weeks ago to McLaren. Yes, the Formula One team has dropped has got into the golf club making industry.
Really?
And Justin Rose is their ambassador.
That's what I need, a Red Bull putter.
There you go. You won't leave any putt short with a Red Bull putter, probably.
It gives you
Rose
wings.
goes from being an incredible ball striker who was contending in all these tournaments, was winning PGA tournaments, having a career resurgence past the age of 40. He changes his irons midway through the season, leading up to, he's already played Augusta. He makes the change. In the last 2 tournaments he played with this new set of clubs, the Cadillac and the Truist, he has his 2 worst ball striking weeks of the season. Now, he talked about it today because he's been asked about it, and he goes, no, I've just been playing bad golf. It's not the irons. I've been working on these for 18 months. But it's hard for me to really believe that all of a sudden Justin Rose, who has been so consistent as of late, who's been an incredible ball striker, all of a sudden cannot seem to find the club face. And it's not because of you trying out these new McLaren F1 golf clubs. I just don't see how you're telling me they don't relate. So
Okay.
A month ago, if he was playing what he was playing before, I would have said, yes, Justin Rose, watch out for it. But the last 2 weeks, unless he finds something on the golf range today, I'm getting bad vibes from Team Rose.
Okay. All right. One of the other things, I was fascinated by this because it didn't strike me until watching him at Augusta. And one of the other 5 points they bring out is titled Scotty Scheffler's approach play. And so here's a guy who is top 10 off the tee, around the green, and tee to green overall. He's 14th in putting, but he's only 42nd in approach, following 3 consecutive seasons of finishing number 1. For example, here's his approach finishes per start. 47th for the American Express, 19th for the Waste Management Phoenix Open, 34th at Pebble, 36th for the Genesis, 44th at the Arnold Palmer Invitational, 37th at the Players Championship, 3rd, the Masters, 23rd at the RBC Heritage, and 6th at the Cadillac Championship. What do you make of that?
Well, I think you said the last 4 tournaments,
Yeah.
he went from being 30th, 40th in ball striking to all of a sudden now 6th last week, 3rd at Augusta. He's heating up, folks. Scotty Scheffler is coming. And it could be this week, because if he can find his if they can find the fairways, we already know how excellent he is with his wedge game, which I think will be important. I think lag putting will be important here. He's a very underrated lag putter. And with irons plays coming into form, he's someone that's, I don't know if he's a sleeper because he's probably the overall favorite to win this tournament, but he hasn't won since the Amex at La Quinta, or in Palm Springs rather, earlier this season. So people aren't as high on him as they might be on Cam Young right now, or Rory or Matt Fitzpatrick. But this I think is a week where Scotty will probably be top 5, because you go into the Masters and everyone loves to talk about sleepers and underdogs, and Scotty hasn't played well and Rory had the back injury. Who finished 1 and 2 at Augusta? Rory and Scotty. And I think it'll be very close to repeating that this week.
Okay, toward that end, another one of their points is what's called major pedigree. And they say, when's the last time an unexpected name won the PGA? 6 of the last 8 PGA Championship winners had already won a major. The 2 outliers, Xander Schauffele 2 years ago, although he was the 3rd-ranked player in the world at the time, and Colin Morikawa, who was 12th in the world. So it said that follows the general trend. There has not been a surprise winner like J.J. Spawn in 6 years. Jimmy Walker in 2016 was the last true outlier on that. It said, so will that streak continue? They said many of the most informed golfers fit the trend. Scheffler, McIlroy, Matt Fitzpatrick, all have won majors previously. Notable exception, Cameron Young, though his major record is about as good as it gets without an actual trophy. Tom Kite always pops in my mind for years. They said he's the best player not to win a major. Then remember, it was Ricky Fowler for a long time. Best player not to win a major. And now they're talking about that about Cam Young.
Yeah, I think the U.S. Open seems to kind of pull out these winners out of nowhere, like J.J. Spawn, Wyndham Clark, winning at L.A. Country Club.
Even Gary Woodland
winning at Pebble a few years back. But the PGA, like what you just brought out of, usually you're top 15 in the world. So it's Cam Young's week. And I know he didn't have a great Sunday putting. I think he had 4 missed putts inside of like 4 or 5 feet at Quail Hollow, which is really weird for him. But he's probably been the best player on the planet the last 2 months. Dominated at the Cadillac, back at the Blue Monster, Trump Doral. He was close to winning at Augusta. A lot of times you kind of, once a player comes on the scene and they can't get it done, he just can't get it done. And, it takes some time for those guys. They develop scar tissue. I mean, hey, Scotty Scheffler was in the final group of the PGA in 2020 with Dustin Johnson, and the year Colin Morikawa won. And, Scotty was becoming one of those guys. He just can't get it done. Look where he's at now. I think for Cam Young, the win 2 weeks ago was huge for his confidence. And, he's my favorite to win this week. He's driving the ball exceptionally well, which sets up well for this course. He has the distance. He has all the confidence. He has the form. I think Cam Young and Scotty are the 2 guys to watch out for. And then, you mentioned Matt Fitzpatrick. He's won 3 times. If you want to tell me 2, it's fine, because he won 1 with his brother Alex at the Zurich Classic, the team event. But he's also a guy who can, bomb it down the fairway. He won the U.S. Open at Brookline, kind of out of nowhere, just pulled out a major championship. So I don't expect a out of nowhere type guy to win it this week. U.S. Open, maybe Shinnecock's a crazy golf course, but this week it's more of a PGA Tour setup. So I think we're going to see a big name win this week.
So your pick is
Cameron Young.
Okay. There it is. Cameron Parker picking
Wake Forest
Cameron
Demon
Young.
Deacon.
There you go. All right. Thank you for dropping in.
Thanks, guys.
Let you go back to being management.
Yeah.
Whatever that means.
Proving time cards.
Yeah, there you go.
TPS reports.
Yeah.
All right.
Compliance training. Yeah.
It's Cameron Parker. Up next, Inconceivable, here on 1300 The Zone.
Your summer travel budget is about to get $1,000 heavier.
No way.
You better start planning and listen weekdays for many chances a day to win bonus bucks.
Hey guys, I'm Lourdes. I'm Hannah. And we're Rowdy Cowgirls from Rowdy Cowboy in Round Rock, Texas. Come see us. We're excited to meet you and get rowdy.
By texting 64,000, you agree to receive recurring automated marketing messages from Ownwell. Message and data rates may apply. No purchase required. Terms apply. Available at ownwell.com/terms. Estimate based on your neighborhood average and individual results may vary.
When I saw how high my property tax bill was, I was shocked. We couldn't afford this. But I discovered Ownwell. Ownwell reduced my property taxes and saved me over $1,000.
Your property taxes aren't set in stone. They can be protested and they can be reduced. But instead of filing protests yourself and very possibly losing your appeal, Ownwell does it all for you. And we give you the best chance to win and save big. Ownwell has reduced property taxes for hundreds of thousands of Texans and put money back in their pocket, and you can be one of them. And unlike other companies that take half of whatever you save, Ownwell charges just 25%. And that's only if you save.
Now I don't worry about my property taxes. Ownwell reduces it every year.
Sign up now for free. Don't pay unless you save. Text TAX to 64,000. Text TAX to 64,000. Text TAX to 64,000.
Hi there, I'm John O'Hurley. You know our pets are beloved family members. But sadly, though, there are so many dogs that get euthanized every day due to the lack of funding. To give them a chance at adoption, I invite you to support Puppy Food Bank. Thanks to generous donors like you, all of the food sent to pet shelters from Puppy Food Bank never comes with a bill. So please go to puppyfoodbank.org and make a generous, caring $15 donation every month. Your donation will absolutely save pet lives.
For over 30 years, CertaPro Painters has been part of countless memories. Every wall tells a story, and we've been proud to help write them. We are more than just your local painters, with care, craftsmanship, and certainty. From the first brushstroke to the final smile, our promise is simple. Your home beautifully painted and worry-free. CertaPro Painters, that's painting happy. Get started today at CertaPro.com. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated. Contractor license and registration information is available at CertaPro.com.
Well, good morning, kiddo. I love that you're home from college. I've missed you.
Still taking your nature-made vitamins?
Every day. A multivitamin and a probiotic. You better be taking yours.
Still looking out for me, Mom.
I'll never stop.
Made to care for you every day. Nature Made, the #1 pharmacist-recommended vitamin and supplement brand. Find us in the vitamin aisle, based on a survey of pharmacists who recommend branded vitamins and supplements.
How was your break?
It was great until I stopped for gas. Prices have gone up almost $1 with no end in sight. I might have to start watching how much I drive.
That's exactly why I use Upside. I never pay full price for gas with the free Upside app.
Upside?
Yes, Upside. It's the free app that gives you cash back just for buying the gas you're already buying. So even with the rising gas prices, I'll never have to limit how much I drive.
Does that actually add up to anything?
Just last year, I made over $200 with the Upside app.
Wow, that's serious extra cash. I'm downloading the free Upside app right now.
Download the free Upside app to earn cash back on the gas you're already buying. Use promo code FUTURE25 for an extra 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. You can cash out anytime, right to your bank account, or an e-gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code FUTURE25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first fill up. That's FUTURE25.
Offers vary by user and location. Go to upside.com for terms and conditions.
Hello, I'm Robert Smigel. I did lots of things. Cartoons on SNL, Conan stuff, Triumph the Insult Comic Dog, some movies. But now I'm past my peak. So I'm hosting a podcast, Humor Me with Robert Smigel and friends. Each week, me and my favorite comedians, writers, and whatnots help regular people just like you, presuming you're regular, who have some project or task that they'd like us to help make funnier.
Search Humor Me on iHeartRadio, America's #1 podcast network, and the Webby Podcast Company of the Year.
If it's Texas sports, Craig Way knows all. Back to the Craig Way Show on 1300 The Zone.
Well, I'll tell you this before we get started with Inconceivable. Thank you. And I mean that sincerely. Thank you to the person who corrected me on our text line. And so Magnet Steel was released March 78. That makes a lot more sense to me. When I thought I read somewhere that was 72, and I thought it seemed because I remember hearing it in high school. And somebody said, I distinctly remember riding the bus to school, hearing it as a sophomore in high school. That would have been my senior year. You're exactly right. And it makes more sense from the Stevie Nicks perspective as well, because that was right after Rumors and after, when Fleetwood Mac was really hitting major strides there. So thank you. It makes me feel a lot better on that. And so come on, Letterman. The Yacht Rock guy is so Thurston Howell III. He is. You're that guy. Or he says, the Rio Needy is flowing, and he talks about it. So, yes, it does kind of have that thing to it. So, yeah, Letterman was being grumpy old man about that. Somebody said, I saw the Spurs in Hemisphere Arena. I think they left there in 93. It was okay, except that support poles that block your view. You are exactly right. I went to a game once there, and I had one of those obstructed view seats with a post like being at Old Tiger Stadium. I also... Bill Schoening and I worked a Longhorn basketball broadcast at Hemisphere against LSU in like January of 93. So yes, you're exactly right on that as well. We were talking about the other name of what is the Frost Bank Center when it opened, I think AT&T Center, whatever it was, but it's gone under 2 or 3 names around that. Okay. Now, let me start with the fast food, junk food update. We've been down the Pop-Tarts road with Jake, who can take or leave Pop-Tarts, was the impression I got from you on that. Okay? Okay. They got a new flavor. How about frosted marshmallow hot cocoa flavor?
See, that's not going to be better than marshmallows with hot cocoa.
Okay.
I mean, it's fine. There's not really a lot out there where I think, yeah, give me the Pop-Tart version.
Okay. They have a super stuffed lineup introducing 3 new indulgent flavors, they say. Fans can now savor Strawberry Blast, which is a classic with an intensified fruit experience, Molten Lava Cake, which features a rich chocolatey interior, and Cinnamon Caramel, or Caramel, however you choose to pronounce it, sweet, spicy twist.
See, I like that, the caramel filling.
Yeah, you're right.
And then you could also get the marshmallow. A marshmallow filling piques the interest.
Okay. This is kind of fast food related. McDonald's is going to do something they've never done before.
We've said this like for the last 5 days.
This has nothing to do with a burger or a soda. They had some of those new drinks in there. I didn't get a chance to try one, but no. Naming rights on a stadium.
Oh, okay.
The Chicago Fire of MLS are going to be playing in McDonald's Park, a $750 million privately funded facility to open in 2028, 22,000-seat stadium. It'll be situated in what's called the 78, which is a 62-acre mixed-use development near the Chicago River in the South Loop neighborhood. The construction began in March. And here's the best part, I think. A permanent McDonald's flagship restaurant will be built inside the stadium.
Nice.
Which will feature year-round programming.
How about a drive-through concession stand? Get a fixed menu. Because in soccer you only get one break.
That's true. And that's a pretty good artist conception of that
deal. It's not looking like that.
Well, I don't know. It might.
There's nothing too crazy. Oh yeah, there'll be fireworks going on nonstop.
Right. By the way, drone show Friday night for the Longhorn game. Drone show, and we gave away 2 of the 3 pairs of tickets to that Friday night game. We're going to give you another chance to win a pair coming up next hour. Okay. We're talking about how, all these fast food things. And if you eat too much fast food, even if you're a fast food inveterate consumer like myself, you got to be careful not to eat too much because it can make you sick, right? Here's a story. I don't think it necessarily had to do with fast food, but as many as 1,700 passengers, this has nothing to do with the cruise ship that had the hantavirus thing. This is something different. As many as 1,700 passengers I want you to think about this, about if you were stuck on this boat. We're being held on board a cruise ship in southwest France after dozens of cases of possible gastroenteritis on board.
Oh, no.
The ship is named Ambition, and it was scheduled to sail around France and Spain after picking up passengers from the UK cities of Belfast and Liverpool on May 8th and 9th.
No mas.
Up to 50 passengers on board the Ambition were affected by symptoms consistent with acute stomach sickness, according to the local French department.
Did you get the steak or the fish?
Yeah, one thing is not a laughing matter. A 92-year-old man died on board the ship. But the guests did not report any symptoms of gastrointestinal illness. The cause of death has yet to be established on that. But as a precautionary measure, the planned disembarkation of passengers in Bordeaux has been suspended pending medical tests. Samples taken from the passengers are being analyzed by the infectious diseases department at the Bordeaux University Hospital. So it was supposed to be a 14-night scheduled journey. The cruise line said, we would like to reassure guests that we take any illnesses aboard our fleet extremely seriously. Enhanced sanitation and prevention protocols were immediately implemented across the ship in line with established public health procedures following the initial reported illness. Well, you're going to be stuck on there. 1,700 passengers on this ship because people have a stomach bug.
Were you doing Inconceivable during the Carnival Triumph disaster with Netflix turned into the Poop Cruise documentary?
Yes, I was. By the way, here's something that shouldn't make you confused. Do you like Uncrustables?
Well, no, the peanut butter takes me out of it.
Oh, that's right. Never mind. Sorry.
Yeah, you should be.
Yeah, sorry about that. Stupid of me to forget about that.
I feel like I'm missing out because all the athletes love them.
Yeah, they love them. And if you go on the road with, especially I've noticed in Longhorn baseball, but I've seen it with the other sports as well. There's just boxes of them. They have them because it gives them some energy in the dugout and stuff like that. And so they're developing a new flavor. Now, they've had the peanut butter and grape sandwich, grape jelly, and the strawberry jam. And a new one, Uncrustables Blackberry Boom. Spotted on store shelves recently. So, yeah, it's something that can be at the new Uncrustables. Blackberry Boom, which is peanut butter and blackberry spread sandwich. So, yeah, that's something else. And then one other story, maybe it's just a statement of the time. The Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim,
who are terrible,
have released a statement following the sudden departure of one of their broadcasts. Patrick O'Neill, fixture on the Angels pre- and post-game shows and an occasional play-by-play broadcaster for more than a decade. But today, the Angels addressed his absence without saying why he left. The Angels organization would like to thank Patrick O'Neill for his 13 years of dedication to the Angels broadcast. He brought a sense of pride in each telecast, something that was felt by Angels fans watching at home. The Angels were among the last team to terminate their contract with Main Street Sports Group. That's the soon-to-be defunct network that had aired the team's games on a local cable channel. It's since been rebranded as Angels Broadcast TV. So the knockdown effects have touched everything from the Angels' free agent signings to their decision to stop sending the radio broadcasters, Terry Smith and Mark Langston, on the road. So they do that like they did back in the pandemic days.
I went to Reddit for the reactions, which you should always be careful of doing. And the funniest thing was even Patio doesn't want to watch this blank anymore.
Yeah. So anyway, signs of the times there. All right, we'll be back to wrap up hour number 1 on 1300 The Zone. With the NBA playoffs and Stanley Cup playoffs and the NHL well underway, the second leg of golf's Grand Slam approaching, and Major League Baseball hitting its stride, are you happy with how you're viewing all of this on your home entertainment system? Well, if not, why not give my friend Tom McKay a call at Audio Visual Consultations? You've heard me tell you that Tom and his staff are experts when it comes to home entertainment, but AV Consultations has expanded to become dealers and custom installers of Foresight golf simulators. So if you're wanting to improve your golf game, AV can get you hooked up with a Foresight simulator that can do the trick. AV Consultations now also offers full home and landscape lighting and automatic lighting control. Give Tom McKay and his staff a call today at 512-255-8678. They'll show you how it's done. It's 512-255-8678, or you can find them at avconsultations.com. Let Tom McKay and Audio Visual Consultations help you realize the home entertainment system of your dream.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance tech at a university, he knows ordering from multiple suppliers takes time away from keeping their arena up and running. That's why he counts on Grainger to get everything he needs, from lighting and HVAC parts to plumbing supplies, all in one place. And with fast, dependable delivery, he's stocked and ready for the next tip-off. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell. Cordell & Cordell is the largest family law firm in the country, with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. If you or someone you care about is facing a family law issue, let us set up a 1-hour Cordell Consult. The Cordell Consult is a meeting with a local attorney who will give you clear guidance about your options, whether it's a separation, a postnuptial agreement, divorce, or custody. Visit CordellCordell.com.
Austin, San Antonio, and St. Louis. For all the things you have to do and places you need to be, let Uber take you there. Because there are nights out, airport trips, and car troubles in your area, there are drivers in your area. Uber. Request a ride today. Wait time varies. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details.
Did you know about 1 in 3 people with plaque psoriasis may also develop psoriatic arthritis, which causes joint pain, stiffness, and swelling? Does this sound like you? Listen to what it sounds like to be a million miles away. Tremfya guselkumab, taken by injection, is a prescription medicine for adults with moderate to severe plaque psoriasis who may benefit from taking injections or pills or phototherapy, and for adults with active psoriatic arthritis. Serious allergic reactions and increased risk of infections and liver problems may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check you for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, or if you need a vaccine. Imagine being a million miles away. Explore what's possible. Ask your doctor about Tremfya. Visit Tremfya.com or call 1-800-526-7736.
Progressive can help you protect your home, auto, boat, motorcycle, ATV, and RV, and more. And if something wasn't mentioned that you had in mind, find out if it can be covered at Progressive.com or 1-800-PROGRESSIVE, because it probably can be.
Lime up for savings. Shop the tequila sale at Specs. The fun starts here.
Lunch was great, but this traffic is awful.
Can we stop at a bathroom?
Are you all right?
I keep having stomach issues after eating, like diarrhea, gas and bloating, abdominal pain, and sometimes oily stools.
Sound familiar? Those stomach issues may actually be a pancreas issue called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. Creon pancrelipase may help manage EPI. Creon is a prescription medicine used to treat people who can't digest food normally because their pancreas doesn't make enough enzymes.
Creon may increase your chance of fibrosing colonopathy, a rare bowel disorder. Tell your doctor if you have a history of intestinal blockage or scarring or thickening of your bowel wall, if you are allergic to pork, or if you have gout, kidney problems, or worsening of painful swollen joints. Call your doctor if you have any unusual or severe gastrointestinal symptoms or allergic reactions. Take Creon as directed by your doctor and always with food. Do not chew capsules as this may cause mouth irritation. Other side effects may include blood sugar changes, gas, dizziness, sore throat, and cough. These are not all the side effects of Creon. Call 800-633-9110 or visit creoninfo.com to learn more. That's CREONinfo.com.
I'm asking my doctor about EPI and if Creon could help.
Texas football plays here on Sports Radio AM 1300 The Zone.
Okay. Coming up, hour number 2 of the program, more on the NBA playoffs. We brought you some sound and perspective on where it is. We'll have some more of that coming up. Also, a little further breakdown into the college baseball realm. A look at this final weekend to come up in the SEC as well as nationally, what the regional projections are saying, and some comparison contrast on conferences and their relative strengths as well. And we have one more pair of tickets to give away for Friday night game, Texas and Missouri. The importance of Friday night, drone show. Got a drone show Friday night as well. Anyway, all that and more coming up right here. Coming in next, hour number 2 on 1300 The Zone.
From the tailgates to the couch, one thing belongs on every game day for the University of Texas, and that's Bud Light. As the official domestic beer of Texas Athletics, it's the go-to brew for fans across Longhorn Nation. So crack open one, enjoy the crisp, refreshing taste, and cheer on the Longhorns all night long. Bud Light, easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Please enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
For all the things you have to do and places you need to be, let Uber take you there. Because there are nights out, airport trips, and car troubles in your area, there are drivers in your area. Uber. Request a ride today. Wait time varies. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details.
Pantalones Organic Tequila. Because tequila is fun. Pantalones.
We started Henyon & Walsh for people like you. People with integrity, honesty, and loyalty. The result? We care about you and your investment success. We're dedicated to your financial goals, so we'll always give you our best efforts because you've earned it. We're Henyon & Walsh and committed to you. Get a second opinion. Call 800-279-5279 or find us online. Investing involves risk, including the possible loss of principal. Advisory services provided by Henyon & Walsh Asset Management. Securities offered by Henyon & Walsh Inc. Member FINRA SIPC.
It's the Marketer's Report. In this edition, Chris Eppel, head of marketing for the Americas, Harman JDL, speaks about the role and growth of audio.
It's been amazing over the last couple of years to see what's happened with the audio media category. And for us in particular, we've doubled our investment in the last 2 years in the audio space. We find it to be highly critical to our business. So the channels you're listening to, whether it's a podcast or a radio network, are so personal. It's from someone you trust. And frankly, it's less skippable. People are less likely to skip your ads because it's in an environment that they've already chosen to opt into and listen to.
As the #1 audio company, iHeartMedia connects marketers to all the audiences, live conversations, trusted influencers, and the insights and data you need to grow. And all guaranteed human. If you're a marketer, go to iHeartAdvertising.com.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
ZipRecruiter. There's a lot of uncertainty in the world right now. Rising energy prices, fragile supply chains, even threats of food shortages. It's no surprise that millions of American families are starting to take preparedness seriously. That's why My Patriot Supply created Family Preparedness Starter Packs. 1 full week of food for everyone in your family, plus water filtration, cooking tools, and backup power, all for as little as $100 per person. Go to MyPatriotSupply.com to get prepared today. That's MyPatriotSupply.com.
That red talkback mic on the free iHeart app, it's more powerful than it looks. One tap can get you in the conversation.
You guys, are you serious?
Enter to win something amazing.
That $1,000
or just a request. Try it now. Just open the free iHeart Radio app.
Portions of the following program were pre-recorded.
That red talkback mic on the free iHeart app could win you something amazing.
The iHeart Awards in LA.
Plus, it's the fastest way to get your voice on your favorite station.
Thanks, guys. Love you.
I love you guys. Have a good day.
Try the talkback mic now. Just open the free iHeartRadio app.
From the Audio-Visual Consultation Studios, Sports Radio 1300 The Zone, KDET AM Austin, your home for the Horns, and the #1 preset in your car and on the free iHeartRadio app. He's a Texas legend, a Hall of Fame broadcaster, the voice of the Texas Longhorns, and your host of the Craig Way Show. Here he is now, Craig Way.
Second hour of the program here on Sports Radio AM 1300 The Zone. Craig Way with you alongside Jake Herman, the producer. First hour of the program, our old cohort Cameron Parker joining us with a preview of the PGA Championship, which will take place at Aronimink Golf Club outside of Philadelphia starting tomorrow. And we'll keep you posted on that, the things going on with that tournament. As we bring you the program both tomorrow and Friday from UFC Udish Falk Field. Reminder, of course, that the Longhorns regular season concluding series with the Missouri Tigers begins tomorrow. It's a Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Everybody in the SEC and pretty much across the board in college baseball in the major conferences and even a lot of the mid-majors and smaller ones are going to Thursday, Friday, Saturday, this final week of the regular season. They do that every year because the conference tournaments begin in some places as early as next Tuesday. In fact, I think might be the Ivy League. There's one of them, Patriot League. I think they're already to their championship and they go Saturday, Sunday, Monday, if necessary. I think it's a best of 3. Bucknell and Holy Cross, I think. And again, I kind of keep track of some of those because you never know who might be sent to Austin for region. Bucknell was sent here once. Remember that? Central Connecticut State, Miami of Ohio, Quinnipiac. Everybody had to learn how to pronounce Quinnipiac. So yeah, those 4 seeds, you got to keep an eye on them.
We really missed out. We could have had an Army-Navy Patriot League championship.
They both got knocked out in the semifinals.
I wanted it for my SID friend who works at Army, Austin Pert, but wasn't meant to be this year. So we'll see the Crusaders or the Bison.
Yeah. Here's an oddity that does happen from time to time. It's not often, but I've seen it. I've seen it happen a few times over the past. There are some one-bid leagues, like the Patriot League or the Ivy League, that have their conference tournaments, and like the Southland is starting. Of course, the Southland is spread out over 2 weeks. They have 2 14 brackets, double elimination, and the 2 winners of those 14 brackets meet next weekend in a best of 3. It's much like a regional followed by super regional or in Omaha type of bracket. So that's what they're doing in the Southland. But some of these other one-bid leagues do it where they get their tournament out of the way before the bulk of the conference tournament championship week is underway. Like the SEC begins on Tuesday of next week. And there's the Sun Belt begins as well next week, early next week. And that's how it is in the Big Ten, the ACC, these other leagues as well. But some of the smaller leagues play their tournaments and they get them done. And they have the representative for an NCAA regional out of a one-bid league decided by Sunday of like this weekend. Now, here's the odd part. There are schools in those conferences who did not win the tournament, maybe didn't even get past the first round or past the quarters or semis or whatever. And they've played 51, 52 games, sometimes just 50, and they'll match up with another school from another part of the country who's only played 50 or 51 or 52. And they're allowed to do this. They'll go and play a 3-game weekend series just to close out their year. I remember Abilene Christian doing it one year.
That's bizarre.
Yeah.
I guess some guys need the innings.
There's that. And I think, one of the schools wants to continue or did not, for whatever reason, did not get to the limit of 56 games. I mean, Texas is only going to play 52.
I mean,
this year,
ticket sales, maybe you get nicer weather in those parts of the country.
Some of that. So that it has happened. It's not the most common thing, but it has happened. I've seen it happen a few times. But by and large, the heavy duty stuff, I kind of think of that as almost like a baseball version of the NIT or football minor bowl games, like a Bahamas Bowl or a Boca Raton Bowl or something like that. They're giving their guys a chance to play a little more baseball. Some of them are seniors whose career is coming to an end. That kind of thing. Our text line, as always, is open, and we certainly welcome that. And then also, we have open our TalkBack microphone, and we bring it up a lot to give you a chance if you want to have something to say to us, and you'd rather do that than text. It's just easier to do the TalkBack feature, but the way you do the text, all you have to do is text the word Texas followed by your question or comment to 81530. That's where you direct the text. You text the word Texas followed by your question or comment to 81530. Standard messaging and data rates may apply. That's one way. The other way is the TalkBack feature. And what you do with the TalkBack feature is, if you don't already have the iHeartRadio app downloaded on your smartphone, real easy to do. And then once it's downloaded, afterwards, you do a search for AM 1300 The Zone. It pops up. And when it pops up, you'll see two buttons. One is a white one that is it's all white and it's kind of triangular or whatever, arrowhead shaped. That's so you can hear what's going on the air at the time. For example, like right now, it would be playing see that? It's just a little bit behind us.
We're traveling in time.
That's it. That's a little space-time continuum for you. That about what's going on the air right now. The other button is what operates our TalkBack microphone or TalkBack feature. It's a red button, but it's got a little white microphone in it. And you tap that button, and then you leave us a message up to 30 seconds. Don't go beyond 30 seconds. But you can leave us a message 30 seconds if you have a question, you have a comment, or in the case of this guy who left us a message, it could be both a question and a comment, right?
Hey, Craig. This is Richard. I'm just curious. A few years ago, I know Pluckers got the Cotton Bowl trophy, and I was curious if you knew they were going to bring it back down again so people could take a look at it. I'll listen and thank you. Appreciate it.
You bet. I think he's referring, because I don't know about the Cotton Bowl trophy per se. I was thinking about the Golden Hat trophy that's been down for winning the Texas OU game, which takes place inside the Cotton Bowl. And Pluckers, I think, had that out there. We, as Richard may or may not know, we don't do the coaches show out at Pluckers anymore because it made it a lot easier for Sark to be able to do it closer to his office. We actually do it on campus inside the studios there at the Moncrief Newhouse Athletic Complex. And it also makes it easier for him to have guests. We've had assistant coaches. I think we're going to have players join us this fall. It just works out smoother for Sark and everybody. So I do know this. I do know that there have been various and sundry remotes where we've had broadcasts, and in the past, the Golden Hat would be there or some other trophy would be there. So we'll see, Richard, and we'll find out. And if we hear of that, obviously, we'll let you know. And also, we use that TalkBack feature for our contesting. So if you want to have a chance to win something, you have to use the TalkBack feature. And a lot of times when we just do ticket giveaways, like we've done it for Dave Matthews Band recently, we've done it for Chicago at Styx, we've done it for several different concerts, not just rock shows, we've done for country and several others. And you use the TalkBack feature just to have your name in the drawing, because there's a keyword we give out every day. And so if you want to be in that drawing, what you do is you leave us a message. Hey, yeah, I was listening where you said you were going to give away tickets to Dave Matthews. Today's keyword is ants, like from the song Ants Marching, ants. And so that expedites things, and you're automatically into the drawing at that point. We also use it like what we're doing with the baseball tickets this week. And you just have to give us the correct answer on it. And the question came up yesterday, and we said we had 3 pairs of tickets to give away to Friday's Texas-Missouri game. And Friday night baseball, it's great. Final Friday night of the regular season. Obviously, the Longhorns will probably have Friday baseball at UFC Disch-Falk Field in the regional and hopefully maybe super regional. But it's the final Friday of the regular season. There's going to be a drone show as well. So we were giving away 3 pairs of tickets. And I made this announcement yesterday on the show that using the talkback feature, we needed you to answer a question. And the first 3 correct answers would win a pair of tickets. The first 3 to come in. And it comes in, it catalogs by time who responds first. We had 2 winners yesterday, which means we've got 1 more pair of tickets to give out. Now, I'm not going to give you the answer to the question because there's 1 more pair of tickets given. Surely somebody who either got it wrong yesterday or didn't hear the program yesterday, but would know the answer or would be able to figure out the answer could reach us via the talkback feature and deliver the correct response. So here's the question. The Longhorns are playing the Missouri Tigers, as we know, this weekend. Missouri was one of 4 schools to leave the Big 12 Conference between 2010 and 2012. They were one of 4. Name the other 3. 2 people have already gotten it right. We have 1 pair of tickets. So 4 schools left the Big 12 between 2010 and 2012. One of those was Missouri. Name the other 3. So again,
better hurry.
Download the iHeartRadio app. You then search AM 1300 The Zone. It pops right up. You press that red button with the little white microphone. That's the talkback mic. And you tell us those 4 schools are Missouri and then the other 3. And you do that. First one to correctly do it will get that last pair of tickets we have to give away. All right, we're going to get to college baseball of the national scene and a lot more here on this Wednesday afternoon, a Yacht Rock Wednesday. Keith Moreland joins us next hour to talk some college baseball. We'll do that. We have more on the NBA coming up as well when we continue on 1300 The Zone and the iHeartRadio app.
Texas baseball is back. Catch every big hit.
This one out to deep left center. You can say goodnight to it.
Every strikeout.
Strike 3 call. Got him looking.
Every big play.
Dives. He made the catch. He made the catch.
Of Longhorns baseball all season long on 1300 The Zone and streaming free on the iHeartRadio app.
This is the story of the one. As a procurement manager for a hospital system, she keeps every facility in her network stocked and ready. That's why she counts on Grainger to be her single source for thousands of products, from disinfectants to lighting, air filters, and more. And with fast, dependable delivery, Grainger helps her keep every facility stocked, safe, and running smoothly. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
What if your next favorite hobby came with a built-in crew? That's Cornhole. Whether you're brand new to the game or just looking for an excuse to get outside, there's a whole world of players out there ready to welcome you in. Local leagues, weekend tournaments, backyard throwdowns. It's all happening near you. Find your people at your next event at iPlayCornhole.com/events. New hobby, new friends. Same you, just having a lot more fun.
By texting 64000, you agree to receive recurring automated marketing messages from Ownwell. Message and data rates may apply. No purchase required. Terms apply. Available at ownwell.com/terms. Estimate based on your neighborhood average and individual results may vary.
When I saw how high my property tax bill was, I was shocked. We couldn't afford this, but I discovered Ownwell. Ownwell reduced my property taxes and saved me over $1,000.
Your property taxes aren't set in stone. They can be protested and they can be reduced. But instead of filing protests yourself and very possibly losing your appeal, Ownwell does it all for you. And we give you the best chance to win and save big. Ownwell has reduced property taxes for hundreds of thousands of Texans and put money back in their pocket, and you can be one of them. And unlike other companies that take half of whatever you save, Ownwell charges just 25%, and that's only if you save.
Now I don't worry about my property taxes. Ownwell reduces it every year.
Sign up now for free. Don't pay unless you save. Text TAX to 64,000. Text TAX to 64,000. Text TAX to 64,000.
I'm U.S. Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy. The sound of a seatbelt. It's one of the most important sounds in our car. It means everyone is ready and everyone is safe. The more our kids see us put on our seatbelts, the more natural it is for them to put theirs on too. Make it a priority. Buckle up every time. Hear the sound? Make it a habit.
Paid for by NHTSA.
Ready to order?
Yes. We're earning unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with a Capital One Saver card. So let's just get one of everything.
Everything?
Fire everything. The Capital One Saver card is at table 27 and they're earning unlimited 3% cash back.
Yes, Chef! This is so nice.
Had a feeling you'd want 3% cash back on dessert.
Ooh, tiramisu.
Earn unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with the Capital One Saver card. Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Hey, it's Hannah from Central Texas #1 sports bar, Rowdy Cowboy. If you love the Longhorns as much as Rowdy does, you will have to watch all the action on our 69 big screen TVs while enjoying ice cold beer, craft cocktails, and our Texas-sized menu. And check out our Monday and Friday steak specials. So saddle up and head to Rowdy Cowboy, located off I-35 in Round Rock. Let's get rowdy. Visit us at Go Rowdy Cowboy.
These days, it's getting harder and harder to trust what you're seeing. Who made it? Is it real? But with iHeart, everything you hear is guaranteed human. That's why 78% of listeners trust their favorite radio hosts' product recommendations. And if you own or manage a business here or need to drive sales, that trust goes a long way in creating your future customers. Make iHeart Media a part of your 2026 plan today. Call 844-844-iHeart. Again, that's 844-844-iHeart.
Now here's your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website, Rich. That's Rich. Enter it now.
There are currently more than 200 Beaumont area children in foster care and not enough licensed families to provide them with a safe and loving home. If you would like to learn more about becoming a foster family for children in need, call Buckner Children and Family Services at 409-866-0976. That's 409-866-0976. Or visit buckner.org.
Welcome back to the Craig Way Show and the voice of the Longhorns, Craig Way. Follow Craig on social media at Horn Voice.
Climbing up on Salisbury Hill, I could see the city light. Wind was blowing, time stood still. Eagle flew out of the night. There was something to observe. Getting close, I heard a voice, standing stretching every nerve. I had to listen, had no choice. I did not believe the information. Just had to trust imagination. My heart going boom, boom, boom. Son, he said, grab your things, I'm gonna take you home.
Here's another example of an artist who is always good. He was good when he was in Genesis. I think he was even better once he went solo. Peter Gabriel is one of my favorites. And he was a guy who, it's funny, I've heard an iHeart promo lately where they did a little interview snippet with him and he talked about his time with Genesis and how it shaped him as an individual artist. But there are many artists who say that they were very much influenced by his style. If you've ever listened, there's a Billy Joel song called I started to say Sledgehammer. It's not. It's got the same, and he even says so, kind of the same rhythm cadence, the heavy. It's off the it's Stormfront. That's what it is. Stormfront. It's the title cut off the Stormfront, and it has a heavy pounding off beat with its drums, like Peter Gabriel's Sledgehammer.
Don't you think over the summer we should just trace Yacht Rock through on a Yacht Rock Wednesday? Yacht Rock, family tree.
Yeah, it'd be fun. Absolutely. But always enjoyed Peter Gabriel, and Salisbury Hill is one of my favorites of his. All right, I want to jump back to college baseball, and the regional projections are out. I thought there was a really interesting thing, and I read all of the ones that come in. And historically, I think it's fair to say, historically, D1 baseball is probably closest to the mark when the selections come out on Selection Monday. And it is Selection Monday. Roger and I were joking about this in Knoxville over the weekend, because he said Selection Sunday. He was talking about the Longhorns being a regional host. He said Selection Sunday. And I said, I see what you did there. And he's like, what? And he goes, I misspoke. I'm going to say Selection Monday. I said, no. Sunday, the day before Selection Monday, they announced the regional hosts. So I said, I see what you did there. And he goes, you're giving me way too much credit on this. But they do announce the regional host on Sunday of Memorial Day weekend. And then the Monday, Memorial Day holiday itself, is when the field is announced. Now, we will all be on a holiday break on Monday. This program will now air on Monday. But I will be working, because I'll be down in the Longhorn clubhouse watching the selection show with the team and with Coach Jim Schlossnagle. And then I'll do an interview with Jim, as I've done with all the coaches in the past that I've worked with Longhorn baseball, David Pierce and Augie Garrido, their thoughts, and we will bring that to you on Tuesday, the day after the holiday. So we'll have that for you. But I'm sure folks will be able to see if they watch the show, because it's 11 o'clock in the morning on Memorial Day Monday, always 11 o'clock in the morning. And it's usually ESPN2 is what they put it on, because on ESPN, I think there's like a lacrosse national championship match.
Okay.
Something like that. You've got Duke and Johns Hopkins or something, or, whatever, Maryland and Virginia playing for the national championship or something like that.
I think you got 2 of the Final Four on the men's side.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I know Johns Hopkins had a much better year, because when I was there broadcasting, they had a real down year on the men's side last year. I called some games for their women's team.
Are they the Blue Jays?
Yep.
Yeah. They were blue
and we'll find out this weekend, because they're still in the Elite Eight stage, and Notre Dame is playing Johns Hopkins for a spot at the Final Four in Charlottesville.
Did you like doing lacrosse?
I did. It's fun. It's fast.
Yeah, it is.
The men's and the women's sports so different.
I've always said that when it comes to calling play-by-play, because I've been asked this, like, what's your favorite one, or what's the weirdest one, or the hardest one, all that other kind of stuff. And I said it all boils down to 2 things: terminology and strategy. You learn the rules of the game, you learn the terminology, and then you learn the strategy from the coaches, the players, and things like that. And you combine the 2, and if you've got enough elocutionary skill, you call it at that point.
I called up some of my high school friends or people I wasn't even that close with and said, hey, you got 15 minutes to talk some lacrosse strategy with me? I'm calling a game.
Very good.
That's how I,
okay. Yeah.
Didn't get too far over my skis.
Yeah. Okay. All right. When I first started doing indoor soccer, I had to, and I'd done outdoor soccer when I was at North Texas as a student. They had a good team, made the NCAA tournament. I called it NCAA tournament match between them and Eastern Illinois. So I did, but I had not done indoor. But I knew I probably could. And sure enough, learned the technology and talked to the coach and stuff. And I did 9 years of indoor soccer, television and or radio up in Dallas, the Dallas Sidekicks. So I did those at that time. But a lot of it comes down to that sort of thing. So, yeah, there may be a lacrosse national championship matchup going on Memorial Day Monday, but and that might be televised on regular ESPN, but I think it's on ESPN too.
Yeah, college baseball doesn't get the love it deserves on TV.
Yeah. The SEC championship game is on ABC this year.
Oh, there you go.
So that's good. Anyway, what I was going to bring up here is Baseball America has its conference breakdown of how many schools from each league they project will make a regional, get into the NCAA tournament. The most would be the SEC. They have 12 right now, or 12 that could get in. And here's what I mean by that. They have it. This is like it's done. I think Joe Lunardi does this with basketball, and CBS Sports does it with basketball. Locks should be in and work to do. That's become common vernacular for bracketological prognostication. Is locks should be in, work to do.
Now we need that in the common vernacular. Yeah, that's a mouthful.
That's something I invented.
Oh, yeah.
Bracketological prognostication. I started calling it that years ago. But anyway, locks, according to Baseball America, from the SEC, Alabama, Arkansas, Auburn, Florida, Georgia, Mississippi State, Oklahoma, Ole Miss, Texas, and Texas A&M.
Not Tennessee.
Should be in Tennessee and Kentucky.
Okay.
Work to do, Vanderbilt. And here's their comment on Tennessee is the Volunteers secured one of the biggest resume boosts in the country, taking 2 of 3 from then number 3 Texas, which is now number 4 in the RPI, in a massive quad 1 series win to reach 13 SEC victories on the season. At this point, it feels overly conservative to place Tennessee in the should be in category. Fringe top 30 RPIs paired with 13 SEC wins. Tennessee sat number 31 as of yesterday. Simply do not miss the field anymore. So they've got a good shot. Kentucky, the Wildcats called what they hope is the selection committee's bluff. We know what that was. That was that memorandum that went out from Michael Althoff, who said that don't do that. Don't be dumping games.
Yeah, and that finger wag, that's about the harshest punishment that could have come down from it this year.
That's why Baseball America says the Wildcats called that bluff, what they hope is a bluff. Canceling a late season midweek against Northern Kentucky in a move widely viewed through an RPI lens as they prepared for a home series against Arkansas. At 12 SEC wins and number 30 in the RPI, Kentucky should be able to avoid the bubble entirely if it can win at least one game against the Razorbacks before heading to Hoover for the SEC tournament. The should be in designation applies only because 12 conference wins remains below the modern SEC threshold for comfort, but we strongly believe the Wildcats will get to 13. Work to do, Vanderbilt. This time last week, Vanderbilt had one of the more complicated tournament cases in recent memory with a clear path to 15 or 16 SEC wins, but an RPI outside the top 70. That picture is much simpler now. The Commodores lost a series at SEC cellar dweller, Missouri, pushing them well outside at-large range, even if they sweep South Carolina to reach 14 conference wins. There is still a narrow path, though. Vanderbilt historically has performed well in the SEC tournament. They won it last year. And a deep run, an appearance in the title game might be the minimum, could be enough to force its way back into the conversation late.
So LSU's not even listed.
Oh, no. Well, and they were starting to be listed after they swept South Carolina. They threw all that out the window when they got swept by Georgia last week.
Yes, as an SEC team with 12 regular season conference wins, that's the max that they would get to.
Yeah.
That's a real outlier in terms of making the field. No one's done it since Alabama in 2021.
Well, and what's their RPI? 70? Let me pulling that up right now. I'm looking at it. Their RPI.
It's not good.
Gosh, did I miss it? Is it in the 80s? No.
That's the type of year it's been, though. You have yourself wondering if you missed it scrolling
57,
down.
57.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so it's not horrible.
It's better than Vanderbilt's.
Yeah. It's not horrible, but it's not good.
So I'm surprised they're not even listed. But, I mean, they're 9-18 in SEC play.
And that's why. And this weekend they play Who's it they play? They play somebody pretty good this weekend. I think it's Auburn.
Florida.
Yeah. So you got that. So, we've been saying for some time, short of winning the SEC tournament, they're not going to get in.
But they sweep Florida, they're still out? If they lose the SEC tournament?
Well, all right, so they sweep Florida. What does they get them to? 8 above 500, 32-24. The series is at home. It's not in Gainesville. So they won't pick up as much RPI love as they would as if they won it on the road. And I don't see them sweeping anybody on the road. But
they're probably going to lose the series, but
yeah, if they swept the series and got to 12-18, get a deep run in the SEC tournament, maybe get to the final, you're in the conversation. People are talking about you, but all of those things seem less than likely.
I think we'll be talking about Lane Kiffin more than LSU baseball over the next 2 weeks.
I think you're probably right. Texas State is 44 in the RPI. And that was, they took a hit. They went down a spot after being absolutely blasted by UTSA. By the way, did you see what happened at the end of that game?
Oh, yeah.
I believe what I had explained to me was that Patrick Hallmark, the head coach of UTSA, thought that one or more of the Texas State pitchers were throwing at his hitters.
Because, a freshman in the fourth inning, after the game was already a little bit out of hand.
Because they scored 8 in the bottom of the first.
Yeah, Blake Beeler.
Yeah.
420-foot home run, first career homer, big bat flip. Probably a bigger bat flip than the scoreboard warranted, but it's a freshman with his first career home run.
Yeah.
So the next time he comes up, they threw inside and behind him.
Okay. The thing that made it kind of unusual is at the end of the game, it's not the most unusual thing in the world to see two head coaches kind of get nose to nose and have confrontation, and that's what happened. What is unusual is see the entire coaching staffs get out there, and there was even a little bit of borderline shoving, a little bit.
The bullpens are in.
Yeah, there was some contact involved. Anyway, they were very upset about it.
This was closer to a basketball fight than a baseball fight.
Yeah, I think so. So anyway, that's
a lot of pointing.
Yeah, so they didn't do much good to help themselves. It was not good as well. Okay, just a couple other notes about these conferences and where they stand in that. They think 9 ACC teams are in right now. Locks, Boston College, Florida State, Georgia Tech, Miami, North Carolina, Virginia, Wake Forest. Should be in NC State and Virginia Tech. Work to do, Pittsburgh and Clemson. Didn't help Clemson losing to USC Upstate last night. That didn't help.
No.
Last night. I watched some of that. They played at the Spartan Burgers ballpark.
Hub City.
Home of the Hub City Spartan Burgers. So anyway, yeah, they're kind of in a tough situation. Big 12, they say 7 are getting in. Locks, Cincinnati, Kansas, Oklahoma State, UCF, and West Virginia should be in. None. Work to do, Arizona State and TCU. 2 teams that were probably in good shape last year, but last week, but Arizona State lost a home series to Oklahoma State last weekend. And TCU, they say, Horned Frogs in a similar position, Arizona State, though they sit a game back in the Big 12 standings. TCU closes the regular season with a road series at West Virginia, day of the sweep of Kansas and Lawrence last weekend. And a series win there would likely cement its place in the field. Anything less leaves the Horned Frogs vulnerable entering Selection Monday.
Temperature heats up in that ballpark this time of year.
Yeah.
Trampoline.
Yeah, it could be. Big 10, 6, they say. Locks, Nebraska, Oregon, UCLA, and USC. Oregon, USC, and UCLA. Locks for the Big 10. Should be in Michigan. Work to do, Purdue. Conference USA, they say 3 are getting in. Jacksonville State, who, by the way, beat Auburn last night. And Auburn went up 1 spot in the RPI to number 2.
Another win for Eli Gold.
Yeah. The game was in Jacksonville, Alabama. Auburn lost, but because it was a road loss to a pretty good RPI team in Jacksonville State, they actually went up a spot into that.
Look at that.
Conference USA 3. Locks, Jacksonville State, and Missouri State should be in Liberty. Work to do, none. Sun Belt.
Here we go. This is interesting.
Locks, Coastal Carolina, and Southern Miss. Should be in, none. Work to do. Louisiana, South Alabama, Texas State, and Troy.
The bubble belt.
Yeah. The Sun Belt finds itself in a familiar position. Coastal Carolina and Southern Miss are locks to make the field regardless of where they land in the bracket. Beyond that, the picture becomes crowded. Louisiana, which, by the way, hosts Coastal this week, South Alabama, Texas State, and Troy are packed between 3rd and 7th in the league standings and all carry RPIs between 43 and 58. Last year, Troy was left out of the tournament despite an 18-12 Sun Belt record and an RPI in the mid-40s on Selection Monday, a precedent that does little to inspire confidence for this group this year. Texas State is currently in the strongest position from an RPI standpoint and closes with a manageable series against Marshall.
I guess RPI doesn't care how many runs you lose by.
No, that component is not in there.
Which is probably good.
In Jerry Forrest Pigskin Prep, where we do those computer things at the high school, margin of victory is equated into that sometimes. The American Athletic Conference, no locks. Should be in, nobody. Work to do, East Carolina, UAB, and UTSA. The AAC slid aggressively in the latest field of 64 projection, dropping from a projected 3-bid league to just its automatic qualifier. All 3 teams listed above now sit outside at-large range in RPI, making a stolen bid out of the conference increasingly unlikely. I thought UTSA was in pretty good shape, but maybe not. Big West, lock. UC Santa Barbara should be in none. Work to do, none. The Gauchos are locked.
You don't want to face them on day one.
Yeah.
They've got, I'm forgetting the name of that pitcher.
Well, and UCSB is in one of the sets of projections. Let me see if it's Baseball America.
Jackson Flora, who throws triple-digit fastballs, 6'5", going to be a high draft pick.
Okay. In Baseball America, they're projected to come to Austin.
Yeah,
as the 2 seed.
You don't want to see them on day one.
Yeah. With the 3, Michigan, and the 4, Niagara. In D1Baseball.com, their projection came out late yesterday afternoon. Texas is the number 6 seed, just as they are in Baseball America, with Boston College, and they have Texas State in there. Now, that was before the Bobcats lost by 15 runs last night. And Oral Roberts coming as 4th, lining up with the regional in Tallahassee, where Florida State would be the 11, with USC, Kentucky, and Yale, the other teams. Ironically, in the Baseball America projection, they have the Austin Regional lined up with one out of L.A. with USC as the host, Arkansas, Arizona State, and Oral Roberts, the other teams there. So we'll see how that all goes. All right, so there's some regional projections and also the comparison contrast on that. More NBA coming up when we continue on 1300 The Zone.
And now a word from our sponsor, Bud Light. There's nothing better than the clean, crisp... There's nothing better than the clean, crisp... what if we just got out of here and grabbed some Bud Lights? But man, we're on air for 4 more hours. They'll figure it out. Sounds good to me. Anything for the clean, crisp taste of Bud Light. Stock up now. Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2026, Anheuser-Busch, Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. Did you buy a timeshare because they told you it was a great investment? That's a lie. Most timeshares can be bought online for $1. To find out what your timeshare is worth and to cancel it, call us today and we'll send you our timeshare exit kit free with all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley for your free exit info guide. 800-408-4040. That's 800-408-4040.
Shops back. 50 years in the Lone Star State. A one-stop shop so you're never late. Price is so low that you want to know Which way to Specs? Come on, let's go. Specs, fine spirits, and fine foods. World-class service, that's all about you. Shout Specs, it's how we do. A huge selection since 62. Shout Specs, low price, amazing. Here's to you. Shout, cheers to savings.
How was your break? It was great until I stopped for gas. Prices have gone up almost $1 with no end in sight. I might have to start watching how much I drive.
That's exactly why I use Upside. I never pay full price for gas with the free Upside app.
Upside?
Yes, Upside. It's the free app that gives you cash back just for buying the gas you're already buying. So even with the rising gas prices, I'll never have to limit how much I drive.
Does that actually add up to anything?
Just last year, I made over $200 with the Upside app.
Wow, that's serious extra cash. I'm downloading the free Upside app right now.
Download the free Upside app to earn cash back on the gas you're already buying. Use promo code FUTURE25 for an extra 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. You can cash out anytime, right to your bank account, or an e-gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code FUTURE25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first fill-up. That's FUTURE25.
Offers vary by user and location. Go to upside.com for terms and conditions.
Hey, John, why so glum?
I just got let go. The company's downsizing. This is the third time in the last 2 years. I'm done with this.
Have you thought about My Computer Career? I've heard they can train you for a career in IT in just a few months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI. And you don't need prior training or experience. Now that's a recession-resistant career.
Wow, thanks. I'll check them out.
Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation. mycomputercareer.edu, an elite CompTIA certification partner. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
Straight Talk Wireless presents Pickup Truck Wisdom.
Trust is earned. That's why I've stuck with Straight Talk. Same price since 2009 on Verizon's 5G network. Cause shoot, anyone can make a promise. Keeping it for years, that means something.
Now plans starting at $25 a month with 4 lines. Find us at straighttalk.com and Walmart. Straight Talk Wireless. Straightforward. Always. Same price claim applies only to the base monthly price of our $45 plan from October 2009 to present.
AM 1300 The Zone occasionally holds contests. For more information about contests on this station, go to am1300thezone.com/rules.
Yacht Rock Radio on iHeartRadio drops anchor and goes commercial-free every weekend. Weekends were made for smooth sailing. Yacht Rock Radio's got the soundtrack. Just sit back, put your feet up, and enjoy. The smoothest soft rock from the 70s and 80s. Open the free iHeart app, search Yacht Rock, and set sail.
iHeartRadio.
Take a look under your bed. Find stuff under there? What about jobs? No? Now try your basement. There's a pair of overalls that overall you're not so into anymore. A perfectly good laptop that hasn't sat in your lap in months. And even more stuff, but still no jobs? Well, you really have both. See, stuff is defined as household articles considered as a group. Sometimes this stuff is no longer needed. Wait, no longer needed? That can't be right. Because remember those jobs you were looking for? Those are really needed, and they're the stuff inside your stuff, even inside that winter coat that moved with you to Phoenix. Our job is to unlock those jobs, and it starts when you donate your stuff to your local Goodwill. Here's how we do it. When you donate to Goodwill, we sell your stuff to provide job training for people right here in your community. So just by teaming up with Goodwill, you help create jobs. And isn't that worth partying with the leftover guitar from your 80s cover band? Goodwill. Donate stuff, create jobs. Find your nearest donation center at goodwill.org. A message from Goodwill and the Ad Council.
We all use AI, but here, it never pretends it's real. AM 1300 The Zone. Guaranteed human. And we're back to the Craig Way Show. Have a message for Craig? Share it by using the TalkBack feature on the iHeartRadio app.
There have been times in my life I've been wondering why. Still somehow I believe we'd always survive.
Okay, CB, this is as close as I can get to it for you. CB had a question on the text line. Is there any yacht rock on the Top Gun soundtrack that was released 40 years ago today? Happy Top Gun Day. Yeah, I saw Top Gun when it came out. But
what about the new one?
Huh?
How about the new one?
I haven't. I was going to see it, and I haven't, so I guess I probably will.
I haven't seen the new one either.
My first wife and I, we had just been married about a month when it came out. And we went to see it. She was a big Tom Cruise fan, so that made sense, you know. I think she liked the volleyball scene. She did, the beach volleyball scene. Anyway,
I like Tom Cruise as a basketball player a little better and A Few Good Men.
Yeah, right. All right. So anyway, CB asked if there's any, the biggest hit coming out of that was probably Danger Zone by Kenny Loggins. Couldn't get there with that because I wasn't yacht rock. But This Is It by Kenny Loggins, which is featured in the Yacht Rock documentary. And he talked about how that song was written about his dad who was about to undergo a heart procedure. it doesn't have to be over, because he was talking gloom and doom. So that's, at least I got you in the neighborhood there, CB. Okay. With the NBA playoffs, now the Spurs up 3-2 and pretty dominant in the way they did, certainly in the second half. And Mitch Johnson was asked about the version of Wemby. Did we play that one already?
I think we might have.
That's right, because he said mature. That's right. Here, let's hear from the mature guy, Victor Wembanyama, who said there were those chippy moments that he had from Minnesota early in the game as coming off of the Game 4 on Sunday night.
Yeah, I feel like the rage baiting would have been maybe one of the strategies. So I feel like we need to stay composed as a team.
Rage baiting.
Is that a new one for you?
Rage baiting. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
I mean, as a Texas guy, I get rage baited every time they lose. So.
Okay. Chris Finch talked about, how his team fought back to tie in the third quarter. So how did the game after that? Spurs went on a big run and ended up winning by 33. How did he get away from them?
We went away from what was working. And then, our defense was just cratered. We gave up 30 points, I think, in the last 6 minutes of the third quarter. A lot of it was just ball contained stuff. Offensively, we found stuff that was working. Then we just started breaking off plays, and that's my job. I got to get us back on track. That's on me.
It's got less than 48 hours to get it figured out. They'll play coming up on Friday. And that will be back in Minneapolis. All right, we'll be back to wrap up hour number 2 here on 1300 The Zone.
Stay connected to Texas athletics and the 40 acres with the LHN app. Watch original content, behind-the-scenes access, interviews, press conferences, highlights, classic Longhorn moments, and select live events. It's your home for Texas athletics content all year long. And with new stories and features dropping all the time, there's always something new to discover. Best of all, the LHN app is free to download and watch. Download the LHN app today and take Texas athletics with you wherever you go. Hook 'em.
The Milken Center for Advancing the American Dream is celebrating America's 250th One Dream at a Time. Next, Gene Simmons of KISS.
My mother was 14 years of age when our entire family, including my mother, were in concentration camps, Nazi Germany. My mother saw her whole family wiped out. I was born in Israel, and by 8.5 years of age, we came to America. America embraced me as if I was here for generations.
Discover more at mcad.org.
Chuck McDowell here with Red Pocket Mobile. How long have you been stuck with the same phone plan? 2 years? 5? 10? Are you tired of surprise fees and confusing bills? Switch to Red Pocket Mobile. With Red Pocket Mobile, premium 5G plans start at just $10 a month. Pick a plan, lock in your rate, and that's the number you'll see on your bill every month. No hidden fees and no long-term contracts. And here's the kicker. Red Pocket lets you choose from 3 major 5G networks, not just one. Pick the network that actually works where you live and where you work. Try one, and if you like it, keep it. If not, switch to another. Never be stuck with a single network again. Plus, keep your phone, keep your number. Red Pocket Mobile, your new ultimate cell carrier.
New customers can switch and save 50%. Choose from all 3 major 5G networks with one locked-in low price and no contracts at redpocket.com. Redpocket.com.
In this edition of the Marketers Report, Heather Sparks, head of content at Zenith, discusses the power of radio hosts.
I actually think DJs were the original influencers. You invited them into your home. You invited them into your ear. You built a relationship with them. You understood and trusted the things that were interesting to them.
As the #1 audio company, iHeartMedia connects marketers to the audiences, live conversations, and trusted influencers you need to grow. If you're a marketer, go to iHeartAdvertising.com.
Did you know about 1 in 3 people with plaque psoriasis may also develop psoriatic arthritis, which causes joint pain, stiffness, and swelling? Does this sound like you? Listen to what it sounds like to be a million miles away. Tremfya guselkumab, taken by injection, is a prescription medicine for adults with moderate to severe plaque psoriasis. who may benefit from taking injections or pills or phototherapy, and for adults with active psoriatic arthritis. Serious allergic reactions and increased risk of infections and liver problems may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check you for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, or if you need a vaccine. Imagine being 1,000,000 miles away. Explore what's possible. Ask your doctor about Tremfya. Visit Tremfya.com or call 1-800-526-7736.
Progressive Insurance makes bundling easy and affordable. Get a multi-policy discount by combining your motorcycle, RV, boat, ATV, and more. All your protection in one place. Bundle and save at Progressive.com or call 1-800-PROGRESSIVE.
Harbaugh Harge here for Covert Chevy Hutto. Trucks go head-to-head to win your trust. Chevy is pulling up strong with $14,000 off a 2026 Chevy Silverado 1500 RST. Or get $11,750 off a 2026 Chevy Silverado 1500 Custom. Or get $11,750 off of a new 2026 Chevy Silverado 1500 Custom Trail Boss. Bigger trucks, bigger savings. Come see us at Highway 79 in Hutto or shop online at covertchevyhutto.com.
This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell. Cordell & Cordell is the largest family law firm in the country with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. If you or someone you care about is facing a family law issue, let us set up a 1-hour Cordell Consult. The Cordell Consult is a meeting with a local attorney who will give you clear guidance about your options, whether it's a separation, a postnuptial agreement, divorce, or custody. Visit CordellCordell.com.
Austin, San Antonio, and St. Louis.
Coach Sark here. Back to the Craig Way Show on your home for the Longhorns, 1300 The Zone.
Here on the backside of the 3 o'clock hour, a reminder, Keith Moreland coming up in the 4 o'clock hour. More you still watching the NHL Stanley Cup playoffs?
Oh, yeah. I actually stayed up late last night.
Did you stay up for that Vegas Anaheim finish in overtime?
Yeah, Vegas, they keep getting by on the skin of their teeth here in overtime in these playoff games.
Yeah, that's turned into a really entertaining series, and we'll see how it goes. I have a feeling Colorado's going to wrap up its series with Minnesota.
I have a feeling Colorado is going to wrap up the Stanley Cup. I mean, they look unbelievable right now.
They're not unbeaten in the playoffs like another team is,
Okay, well, not everybody gets to face the Philadelphia Flyers in a second round series. Thanks, Bettman.
Yeah, that's true. Good point there. And by the way, I think Carolina will get a good push from whoever wins that Buffalo-Montreal series.
Oh, yeah. That's going to be a good series.
I think that's going to the wire. It's 2-2 right now. I think whoever wins that, I think, will give the Hurricanes a battle in the Eastern Finals. And whoever survived Vegas and Anaheim, Anaheim's a great Cinderella story, much like Montreal in the East. I think Vegas will prevail in that series, and I don't think they can. I'm with you on that. I don't think they're going to take out Colorado. I think the Avalanche are the best. They were the best team all season long. President's Trophy.
Not like what we heard from Noah Eagle in the NBA the other day, a Cavalanche.
Cavalanche. Nice. Yeah. All right. We have one more hour of the show to go. Stay with us here on 1300 The Zone.
It's a celebration 250 years in the making.
And we want everyone in America, from Maine to Montana, from Alabama to Alaska, to be a part of it.
This year marks America's 250th anniversary, and we're coming together from coast to coast at star-spangled events, live performances, and the largest day of giving in American history.
Join the nationwide celebration at america250.org.
You fired up the grill, you strung the lights, you even cleaned the patio furniture. But let's be honest, your cornhole set is an embarrassment. This summer, level up with official American Cornhole League gear. We're talking pro-quality boards, bags, and everything you need to become the undisputed backyard champion of your entire neighborhood. Or at least beat your brother-in-law. Shop now at aclshop.com because summer's too short for bad cornhole.
This is the story of the one. As a procurement manager for a hospital system,